agree with, you know, whatever resonates for people. Not everything is the same for everyone, and I've messed around with the times. Yeah, time is just what we all agree upon, honestly. Yeah, so some of you guys are here waking up. That makes sense. That makes sense because I was doing a reading last week, and I was like, this energy feels so new. People waking up, and I just haven't tapped into that type of energy in a while. So yeah, some people here could definitely be like, looking into more things deeper or had a spiritual awakening recently. When I was speaking earlier about connecting more with the elements, the earth and the water elements, I was talking about what a lot of people on the planet, collective just means a mass of people, okay? Sometimes it refers to the masses of the planet in general. Sometimes it just refers to a specific mass of the general population. But yes, earlier I was speaking on a specific collective that is meant to be connecting with the water and earth elements at this time for Lionsgate portal. That's funny, I almost said purpose. Okay, so this Lionsgate portal is going to be extremely purposeful for a lot of the collective that I was reading for. Yeah, because some, you know, not everybody uses the portals as much as they could. You could use like a friend who's super out of the box, or like, you know, pulls you and makes you do something you don't really want to do, and even if y'all get into some stuff, like it's just it breaks up the energy and brings in more flow. I don't know how to explain that. I don't even have a good example. Hopefully they can give me a download with a good example, because I know I probably could think of one. But I've definitely seen it in movies or shows where there's a friend who, like, you know, it seems like they kind of caused the trouble in the first place in the movie. Sorry, that's my cat. But yeah, it seems like the friend causes the trouble in the first place, and that they're being irresponsible and everything, but then it's actually what sets off like so much fun, or it sets off the story in the movie or show. You know, y'all know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Like, yeah, that was something else. I felt like I couldn't talk earlier when I was doing my live. I was having a hard time channeling and speaking clearly. No, the channeling wasn't the problem. It was speaking it clearly. Okay. So it's something about definitely make sure you're following your guidance and doing what you are called to do and or what you intended on doing, that you know is for your highest good. Even if you keep having delays and with the doubts, all right? Just keep moving forward as best as you can. Again, even if it's in baby steps. 3. Okay. But yes, I will possibly pull some cards. I'm just gonna wait a little bit though. You know, I feel like this moon, to me, it feels like a really good moon to be manifesting not only, like, really the collective dreams, not really just your individual dreams. It's full moon in Aquarius, so it just feels it feels collective. And earlier on the other live that I was doing, I'm trying to remember what was coming through. I was channeling, oh, you know, it was about August, the first week of August, and this full moon and then the first week of August are two separate parts leading up to the Lionsgate portal, and there's just a lot of communication in the spirit realm on Earth right now. Also, we're meant to connect with Earth and water elements collectively. Again, individuals might feel differently about this, but this is what I was picking up collectively was activation codes within tribe, okay? Like, yeah, clans was coming up earlier. How do you become a medium? I don't know if you can just, I would just say practice your intuition. You have to practice your intuition and see what your gift is. Not everybody's supposed to be a medium. Yeah, not everybody's supposed to be a medium. For me, when it happened when I stopped eating meat, I stopped eating meat and dairy, and I was on just, alkaline, more based diet, you could say. This was back in the early 2020s, and yeah, I stopped eating meat and dairy, and I was meditating, doing yoga, just doing everything to balance my mind, body. And that's when, I had an incident where I realized I definitely have a gift, because there was information that there was no way I could have known. And somebody confirmed it for me. And then it just kept happening over and over again after that. And yeah, so that's what happened for me. That's my story. Some people are born knowing immediately. I knew I was connected to the earth and like the spirits and stuff in a way, but I didn't know I could deliver messages and things like that until, like I said, I changed my diet. And so again, that's like my diet, not only physically. That's not just a physical change in the diet. That was also what I consume, what I watch, what I hear, the music that I'm listening to, the people that I listen to, the conversations that I entertain. All that really matters, okay? You have to raise your energy high enough so that you can process your intuition clearly. So yeah, that's what I would planet just resonates with being their truest self. There really won't be a need for mediumship, if that makes sense. It would actually, it would transition from something where we go into like it just would work differently, okay? Because there wouldn't, if we're living as our truest authentic self, we won't have a need to be digging into the past or the future too much. So yeah, like the mediumship abilities, all that stuff would change, like developing with our ascension process. So yeah, just follow your intuition. Just keep working on developing your intuition, knowing that you can hear it clearly, because some people get confused that their intuition led them the wrong way. And that does not happen. You cannot be led incorrectly by your intuition. You can only be misaligned with what your intuition's actually communicating. That's the only time that you get led astray, is when you're not clearly understanding your intuition. Especially during these times where we're all being tried we're all being tried, we're all being tested. There's all types of things being thrown at us, in the air, in our foods, in, things that we consume, music wise and entertainment wise.